Alright, ebusheni di kwa nsema mincha na memo akwa basron kwa mfa possible multimedia. Me amedi dwumedi ho cha medin Eddie Francis Achu aka possible ndi kwa nso ene ne dedi kan we ne channel so YouTube sa edan sayem debre na hwe video no mani nkwa wie so hwe ya no like wa comment wa subscribe ya no share content no and also recommend channel no ama uni emi nso enya ye videos ni bi ahwe. Eni di kwa nso abre bia ibe hye mu e platform we so no me ma we aware say aha yeni atem na emum ya dwen ene eche based on what we see and hear on social media. Ebusiafo saying nebeka ya be 5 years ago ena undercover journalist anidin ede Ahmed Suale a one Anas Armeyaw Anas ena na eye adwuma na krachi ebewu mpofri mu ewa abra na wote ne kaa mu a nipa mienu allegedly eti moto so a omubo ne tu emani wuye besi enne yenyanhu nipa okum no na busia proud to time krachi no anase Ahmed Suale enya ni baby koye no na Anas Armeyaw Anas ene ono akasa Ahmed Suale no ene yewra honorable Kennedy ohene Agyapong enya ntawantawa kakrama Kennedy ohene Japan etina TV so can say if Ahmed Suale is seen around net 2 premises woman mono ebusia say na ebeka ya yewra Kennedy ohene Japan can sansem no che say any 3 days 4 days 1 week cry ena sa amane no anase sansohwe no eto Ahmed Suale inti allegedly ebeto omanga na mu say yewra Kennedy ohene Japan esanse watna TV so akansa asem no nti eyedan a onim ni woni hu bi ema IGP ene ni mpenimfo etonsa efre Kennedy ohene Japan ema ne ko ho police station ekoyi ne ho ano ema ono akasa kra eye se ono de sebe okase omonmo no wankasa omunkunu ena de to so menu krache no wanwu anase enye nadwumam ho ena yekunu eche yewra Kennedy ohene Japan kra eye se ono kra be find justice ede ama Ahmed Suale ema ne de edimbi ebaye na mpepre ameno ka say de Kwame Aplus musician and politician finally a confess say ono wonim womo a eye Ahmed Suale sa wonim womo a eku Ahmed Suale na say NPP for anhwe so anyo mo campaign na se omo ye se ombe tainani anase ombe ye dia ensem fata ede atia na ono obe drop names no sansemi a Kwame Aplus ekan e social media no a drunk of bebre attention say na unim dia obo sa abra no ena 5 years ago asemi see ye what na so meanwhile what say unim adenti no wa ma bonten aben ambe kanda dada na afei na obeka impempe America say there Kwame Aplus are ready so obe drop womo a ekun Ahmed Suale edin na impempe America say there IGP ene ni mpenifo atonsa afrɛ afrɛ Kwame Aplus say omra no meyi ne ho ano ebusia we ene nsem bebre na etwagu ewo social media no so menya bia medi wi eba be so mempese me kasa na be tenten no eni die kwan so hye ne so aha possible multimedia yenko gye nsem ne mu nchemu emfi Kwame Aplus oni wi na bibi che wadwen eni die kwan so anu afili free na wa cha wadwen comment section no ase nyankopon ensha yi
me ni poku Ahmed Suale o me do nyame mo hwe mu ye mo campaign me do nyame nyankopo me come me mama wo mo wiase nka every week be press conference focus on your campaign. My best friend, one of my best friends in this country that nobody knows is Napo. Listen carefully. One of my best friends that nobody knows in this country, Napo. One of my best friends in this country that nobody knows, one of the people that I respect, one of the people that we chat, we never have done public, I've never gone to his house. One of my best is Napo. When we program on Sunday, Napo told me that your program Kumasi no waba. Me and Napo we are on a different level. Napo senka me yeba and me the secret side check. And so I want the best for him. But me menso Çonfess yasemso. Munteni ye. MPP communication that's one spending a lot of time. When I asked Dr. Baumi, and Napo told him that I will bring Aplus on the campaign. Go and ask him. Well, as to whether I will do it or not, no, it's a different matter altogether. But don't try me. Don't try me. I said, me nipa okun Ahmed Suale. Me nipa, I know the person who allegedly killed Ahmed Suale. And focus on your campaign if you like. Call police. Go and call Aplus. I will go and write a statement and they will make it public. Can't you just focus and do your government and me start some year campaign? My baby so busy with Sika. Kwame plus your guy man. Me more there because I know how to do my. Yeah, oh baby, some say I didn't know war information. I'm a solid on fan come police with you. Some na make actually ye. Me want information say police if we could nipa 5. Go more affect the area ho baby. Arrested some and in an exchange of fire. In the exchange of fire, some of them okay. It's in nipa 5 ni we. Them say cartoon ya chase atu no kogum. Afiti ni. Edi be 1 week. And I mean, every information on that matter. So immediately, we including the dead bodies, everything, voice note, eyewitness, everything I had. So I took that information and I sent it to IGP. And I told IGP that, have you seen this story? This is murder. These people have been murdered. I suspect, say, it is either the police was misinformed and then they went and did this, or they know. What happened? IGP said, bra. Now a Monday morning, na me madam fubi. Also know a police ni. Ono na say no make later. Me madam fubi. Na madam for no kra no onu na ma me lead madam for no onu no ma me lead no say challenge we receive information and we think that these people will be family omo we say it madam for no ma me lead no and I call IGP o asem na can yi me IGP kan ye boa tata no CID boss me IGP kan ye boa ye nipa train ye meeting I can't asem ni nyina wie ye no me free CID headquarters 10 minutes na akwana ye suspect say onu na a misleading police and I say o sha ade na chime yakun nipa 5 no afre me say chairman, they say you go talk my matter for police headquarters, say me way I make they kill the boys so but we say Kwame plus me in street so before I went to police headquarters me in Kwame police in Betu I had called the guy to tell him that hey if you dey street they snitch, they give false information to police, make they kill people. That's what they do.
It is. He's a bad guy, or he was. And let me tell you, if you don't have the evidence, Anas used them.
How did he use him?
Good. All those people that Anas destroyed with his videos and everything, Anas never showed his face, except this guy. This guy was bold to set everybody up. I have a lot of videos. Gentlemen, if you have time and you come to my house, I'll show you all the videos. There's not, with the exception of the Ivorian videos that I have that you see Anas's face after the interview with the Ivorian ministers that he was entrapping. All the entrapment, it was Ahmed Suale who was sitting down with some fake Arabs who were saying that they were from the family of Sheikh Atani. So until a video comes out, you will never know that is Anas. But you know that...
1 second, Agyapong. This is called undercover reporting. And undercover reporting, sometimes there are simulations that are undertaken to make sure you test the character of the person. To get the best out of the person, try to make a conclusion in a story. It's not wrong.
But you say undercover.
It has given you the image that you don't love journalists.
I don't care.
You discriminate against journalists, even though you employ some.
I employ people like you. And how would I say, would you say that I don't like them?
Not when you issue threats to them.
How do I issue threats? You think you are the only human being who have blood in you because you're a journalist? I'm afraid I don't believe in that. Because this man, if you know the number of people that have been killed, if you know the number of people that have lost their jobs, we have to be fair to all those families that Anas and Ahmed Suale set them up. You see, you didn't let me finish. It was Ahmed Suale, you are talking about undercover.
Yes, undercover.
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 So why didn't he, Ahmed Suale, also cover himself?
Because
he
it's
was
undercover.
there. No, you are saying undercover, but Ahmed Suale was there physically. Call Kwesi Nyantechi, he will tell you. Call Edubuahin, he will tell you. Call these ministers.
So why did you expose a gentleman to the Ghanaian public? Ultimately, the accusation is that it got him killed.
How did he get him killed? His own deeds killed him, not me.
All right.
What I said was that the first video I showed, you see why I have a problem with some journalists and you think I don't have it. There are a series of videos. You've taken only this one. The first one, when I mentioned Ahmed Suale, my workers came to me, oh, Honorable, you don't know this guy. This guy has been here for school fees. You gave him 1,500 cedis to go and pay his school fees. And I said, I don't know him. So they said, oh, he has been coming here all the time. So the first video, then I said, this guy is a bad guy. If he comes here, beat him up. Because he's going to set me up. He's going to set Kenn City up. And my toil.
You said it on live TV.
Yes.
You brought the gentleman's life.
How?
He's outdoor.
First of all, let me say emphatically that Napo is not arrogant. You don't tell or mention people's character for them to be. You experience it. You live it. And for anybody you hear say Napo is arrogant, by the time you trace back the person, you realize that he's only feeding on the public conversation and hasn't really worked with him. As a matter of fact, ever since Napo was mentioned, almost every single individual that has worked with him has come out to say, no, this is a good choice, based on my experience. And these are not politicians.
Have you heard any of Bawumia's critics say Bawumia is arrogant? Anything close that Bawumia is arrogant? Have you ever heard that?
But I've heard the critics call Bawumia other names. So
he may have done certain wrongs. He may have done things they don't like, but they never say he's
saying that
arrogant.
I've heard the critics call Bawumia names that are not true.
The point is that it cannot be said that Napo does some wrong and people interpret that to be arrogance.
It is possible. We've had people call politicians a lot of things that they are not. This is politics. Remember, since we started our presidential primaries, people had always gone and knew and predicted who the running mate was going to be. I mean, actually, that is the case. Napo has unfortunately been warned, and that's something that the NDC have done very, very well. Because see, I read Professor Samuel Betbuedi-Kusi, the professor for the Dean for International Affairs in the University of Cape Coast. He was the secretary to UTAG the time Napo was minister. And this is what he says about him. I have known and worked with Honorable Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh. I got close to him during my time as the National Secretary of UTAG. He's such a fine, humble, and competent gentleman. If you get close to him and listen to his words carefully, he's such a fine, humble, and competent gentleman. If you get close to him, you will get to know that he is down to earth with a great sense of humor and has very good interpersonal skills. He is a great manager, a visionary, and a doer. He is compassionate and does not discriminate. During his reign as the Minister for Education, he had an excellent relationship with unions and his charisma. Always curbed intended strike actions. He speaks his mind and is forthright. He speaks his mind and is forthright. He solves problems and is a mentor. He is one of the best ministers Ghana has had as a Minister for Education. I have no doubt about his leadership qualities. And I wish him well as he begins his campaign for the 2024 presidential campaign. Now listen, I am MPP, I've been in MPP, I have never seen Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh exhibit any form of arrogance. Anybody I've heard say Napo is arrogant is somebody that has never worked with Napo. Never. I have listened to Nagrat's leadership, I've listened to Nat, I've listened to professors of the universities, professors who worked in the sector, and it is evidenced. And you heard the professor say that he always curbed strike actions. In fact, during the entire period of Napo being Minister for Education, he had the least labor unrest that Ghana has ever seen in the education sector. An arrogant minister can never achieve this. Never. the way labor unions operate and their modus operandi, if you're arrogant, you cannot survive them.
You hear what the intellectuals say about him when he was seeking to introduce that bill to clip the wings of the university.
So it is about it's about getting the conversation, like the professor said. It's about the engagement. He's forthright.
You are forthright, are you not?
I am.
You speak your mind.
I have a lot of people who actually assume that I am arrogant, but I'm a pure Agyapong bred.
I haven't heard it said of you that you are arrogant.
I have people even in my WhatsApp.
I haven't heard it said of Sami that he's arrogant.
I have heard people say,
even though
I have heard people say Sami is arrogant. I've heard people say I am arrogant. I have heard it. Really? And I'm telling you about my own personal testimony people have given. You don't doubt that. And that is natural. But that's even beside the point. The fact is that Napo has suffered that false start of being worn a kaba and slit of arrogance by the opposition party. Because all the professors and people who have worked with him, they say different things. The guy is competent, he's a doer, he's a go-getter, he's humble. When we worked with him, he's respectful, he engaged us properly, and we got results. He has this big task of removing this kaba and slit from himself. Unfortunate, but that is politics. The very moment you got ready to be named as a running mate, you should be ready for it. Remember when Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia was accused in Parliament of having 3-4 wives, and a woman's name was even mentioned to be his wife? You have to deal with these things. One thing that I have said and consistently told anybody that has called me is that you don't tell people who somebody is. People experience him. Napo has started his campaigning. He is on the ground. He's engaging the people. And by the time July ends and we enter August, the people of Ghana will know what Dr. Matthew Poku Prempeh is made of. And I can tell you without any doubt that the true nature of Dr. Matthew Poku Prempeh that the people will know from experiencing him would be all the testimonies that the people he has worked with, the professors, including even the energy sector. Ask Senior Jose, your friend. Ask all the people in the sector. They will tell you about the character. They may disagree on issues. They will disagree on the policies and all of that. But the character, all of them have attested that the gentleman is a go-getter. He's a doer. He's assertive. He's forthright. He's a team player.
He's dealt with most vice chancellors. They don't say the same.
Now, this issue of Tuesday's Kwame Nkrumah's comment.
Your Kwame Nkrumah.
I have a view, to be very honest with you, that now people are watching Napo with a much more critical eye than they would watch any politician in the light of arrogance.
So there's a benefit.
There is a big disadvantage there. So now, even how he walks may be a problem. We may begin to see people show videos of what he's even wearing and describing it as arrogance. Now, Napo cannot make a mistake by even not seeing a chief coming from behind him and say that, oh, I didn't see you, sorry, let me rise up. It will be interpreted. So that is a cross he has to bear. But these crosses, they don't last. You can't lie on somebody's character. It's just a matter of time. The people would experience him themselves.
But this time
and
has
it will
been
become,
for years now.
No, it's not. This is the time that he is going to be the number 2 gentleman of our land. He is going to campaign to be a running mate. He has never come to my hometown, Latte. Today, he will get to come there. He has never been to Kukua in Ayesuano. Today, he will get to go there. So it will not take Sami Jemfi or anybody to say he's arrogant. The people would have experienced him themselves. Oh, trust me, by September, what you hear is that, oh, send Napo Nukrano,
where has it been? Where has he been after mentioning?
But some said, what I know, having worked with Napo in this party all over the years, supports the assertion and the testimony that all the people he worked with in the education sector are saying. And you underrate Napo and his political influence at your own peril. It's just a matter of time.
Where has he been after?
He's been in the Western and the Western North.
Okay.
Engaging